So tonight a beer review, and yeah, from Love Lane. This is new in at Lidl's Craft Beer Festival for the British, English and Irish version, or English and Welsh rather, the British version, not the Scottish, although it may be in the Scottish, I don't know. Maple syrup stout. Love Lane last year bought an Imperial out. I think it was 10% for £2.49. Fantastic price for what it was, and a good introduction to Imperial Stouts. So I'm interested in this one. Love Lane's brewery home is in the heart of Liverpool's vibrant Baltic Triangle, a place full of doers, creators and makers. A lusciously dark, smooth stout. Pairing notes of dark chocolate with sticky, sweet maple. The malts are Golden Promise, oat malt, crystal medium, chocolate and roasted barley. The hops are Pilgrim. The nose is caramel, maple and roast. The palate is maple, chocolate and dark fruits. The finish is smooth and sweet, and the ABV is, back to the front, is the ABV gone? 7.4%, under £2 I think it was. So yeah, I mean, you've got to be honest. In other supermarkets, you'd be looking at £3.50 for this, I would assume. So cheers all. Good Emperor's glass out. Thought I'd give it a whirl, decent start. I'm sure the big man is here we go. Ooh, look at that. Shows the glass up rather nicely. Neon black pour. Very light tan head on that. And there we go. The Emperor. Chocolatey, dark chocolate coming off that straight away. Maple, bit of smokiness on the nose. Slight bit of oak in it as well there, to be fair. Right. Cheers all. Again, smoky, dark chocolate. Got a bit of roasty toasty on this. The maple's there, but more subdued. But bear in mind, we're only in the first few sips. Got to give it time, you've got to give time for beer to breathe. So yeah, I did like their Imperial Stout last year. Like I said, I thought it was a good introduction to the world of Imperial Stouts. The price at £2.49 for something as big as a 10% was staggering. I don't know how they do it so cheap. You've got to be cutting some corners to develop, to bring a beer out that cheap. I would have thought that government, their costs, I can't remember, VAT and duty would have pushed it up. So somebody somewhere was really pushing it out as a minimal, at the minimum they even could do. So, when we think about beers of a certain price, we must, in my respect, in my opinion, if I'm paying a couple of quid for a beer, and then I'm paying £13 for a beer, then and say they're of equal ABVs and similar styles of beer, one would expect the £13 beer to taste off the charts because of what you're paying for the beer. one would think, wouldn't they? You know? Too often I see in the beer industry that certain brands, and I've seen this only in Morrison's last year, a certain brand of stout was £8. 8 flipping quid for a bottle. Whether it's deserved of that price in a supermarket, £8. The beer itself was actually not that great. No, there were better stouts, imperials, at £4, less than half the price. So that just begs the question, you know. So if we're looking at it from a reviewer's perspective now, and this is something where I like to change that ball around and look at it from the other way. What you're paying for the beer. Not only should the taste, the aroma, and all that come into play, but also what you pay. You know. If you agree, please comment and let's talk about this, because I do think I paid last year 11-12 quid for some beers, and the beers were amazing. You know, they were. What are they 11-12 quid's worth? Don't know. Don't know. Even my beer of the year was an amazing beer. But I do feel sometimes, and I, even locally, I look at beers, and an Imperial Stout by one person is sold at £6 for a 10%er. Another local brewery, £9.50, £10, and it's like that. Okay, so what's the difference? Why is there a £3, £4 difference in beers? Is it packaging? No, because they both came in cans. Is it the ingredients? Maybe. Are they barrel aged? No, these weren't. No, you can't even say they were barrel aged. So it's interesting. As much as I'm friends with local breweries and like local breweries, I do look at what's going off around the UK with regards to pricing, and it's like, so your beer is worth £4 more than your mate's beer, and or a fellow beer brewery, and you know, what makes that the thing? This is a beer with Wraggy, or a coffee with Wraggy talking point, I think. But anyway, back to this beer. I've let it breathe a bit now, so we're up on 8 minutes. Do apologise for those who like quick reviews. You never get a quick review of me. Well, if you do, then you know you're not getting a proper review. Yeah, the maple now is coming to fruition, and the dark chocolate as well. But it is an interesting thought, isn't it? What at this end of the scale, £2. If we're being brutally honest, £2. You I'll put it into a way that makes a lot more sense. My wife makes cakes. She makes amazing, bespoke, customized cakes. She uses ingredients. She'll charge nowhere near enough for her time, endeavour, ingredients, cost of electric. People bitch and moan, and it's like, you did it yourself. Then you'll get other people who make the same cake. Their cakes are a bit drier, they're not as nice. You know, they look good, they all look good, but the cakes themselves, the sponging's is good. You know, and we've known this. And their cakes are double the price, and you know, Is there a fine balance? Do and this is the point I'm trying to get to. Love Lane are bringing out some beers at stupidly cheap prices for what they are. Are they shortchanging themselves, or are they just doing it to take a loss and coming to the market? Interesting, interesting. It would be interesting to chat to somebody from Love Lane and see what their uh, thinking is, their reasoning is. Obviously, breweries will take a loss on certain beers just to get their name into the market. The beer itself, you can't fault it for the price. I've tasted beers that are a lot more expensive. It's a maple syrup stout, and it does exactly what it says on the tin. Can 7.4%, not far from imperial strength. Well, according to Munton's, 4.5 is, but God knows what they were thinking about. Um, Richwood, 6.5% is imperial. So again, I always thought it was about 8.5. So me personally, but what do I know? Oh, that's tasting really nice. And so it may be the thing in the future that as I'm reviewing, look at the price content as well. Bring that into the review. Um, should I have brought it in earlier? Maybe so. Maybe so. Should it be part of the review? But surely what you pay is an important part of the review. Unless I'm getting it for 50 pence because it's been reduced by some idiots who don't know what they're doing. That has happened before. These things happen. But in any case, Lidl's Beer Festival, possibly the standout beer of the beer festival, as it was last time with the Imperial Stout. The big beer of the beer festival. Certainly delivered with the dark chocolate and the maple and roasty toasty elements, and I liked it, which is all for me. For the price, you can't fault it for the price. You know, um, it brings people from shall we say, either their introduction to craft beer or just standard beer drinkers that think, oh, I like the sound of that, you know, and it brings them into the equation. And one must always flip things around and look at yourself. By looking at ourselves, we see where we're going wrong, and not only in beer reviews, but in life in general, really. Um, as I do most days, to be fair. But yeah, good beer from Love Lane. Um, Considering the price, that's a good 4.4 out of 5, possibly higher. For the price of the beer, let me know your thoughts. For everybody who watches this video, should beer reviews also be thinking about the price? Yeah, you pay £10 for a double IPA. Should that double IPA taste like a £10 double IPA? Can you compare a £10 beer against a £2 beer? Bearing in mind price. We're in a cost of living crisis. Shops are taking the piss out of us. The oil people are taking the absolute mick out of us. If you was a conspiracy theorist, you'd say that the world is taking the mick. Governments around the world are romping in the tax to balance what happened with COVID. And, you won't be far away from the truth if you was to think about that side of things. And interesting times. But this to me is a great beer from Love Lane. There's certainly a few things to ponder. Yeah, ponder. Mark! Yeah, that was totally out. That was just a word. I didn't mean to step on your parade. But it is though, isn't it? You know, it's one of them unique beer reviews where it made me think about the price of the beer, but also the other beer reviews and what you spend on a beer. Is a beer worth what you spend? Regardless of your favourite brewery, your local brewery, in the grand scheme of things, this is possibly too cheap. Possibly. Or Love Lane taking a loss on this. That's interesting, isn't it? Anyway, gotta run. Chattered too long as usual, but I fought back. I'm back at you, everyone. I want to hear. There's obviously lots of opinions out there. I love the opinions. If we didn't have opinions, we'd all be sheep. Let's not be fucking sheep. We are not sheep. We all have an opinion. I can be right, and I can certainly be wrong. And many, many times, yeah, if not every fucking day, yeah, every single day I'm wrong. But there you go. Such is life. So yeah, but I actually enjoyed this bit. But it did make me wonder. It does. And there's a question, eh?